You aren't stuck because you're lazy. You're stuck because you're smart. You've got too many ideas, too many possibilities, and a whole lot of pressure to get it right. But have you thought that maybe your book idea is keeping you stuck? Because not every idea deserves a book. And today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 ways your idea might actually be the root to your stuckness and how to move forward with the right idea that takes you where you want to go. Hi, my name is Carma Spence, and I work with big thinkers and seasoned experts and visionary leaders to write, publish, and market a client attracting book that moves the needle for their business and makes an impact on the world. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell so that this video and others like it can get out into the world to more people who want to write a book that matters, a book that grows their business. So let's get to the first way your idea may be keeping you stuck. Too many ideas is not a blessing, it's a trap. And Lord, do I know that. I I have a queue of ideas, and sometimes I'm like, "Which one should I work on? So I've actually come up with a process that helps me decide, okay, what is the idea I need to be focused on now? Because you can't write multiple books at the same time, because I've tried it. Doesn't work very well. Everything may feel possible when you have lots of ideas, but nothing gets prioritized. And the first step is to focus, not more brainstorming. So now there are lots of different books you could be writing. First thing you do is decide, what goal do I want to achieve with this book? Okay. What's the goal? If the goal is to attract more ideal clients to you, more opportunities, more media, that's sort of my ballywick, then you want to choose the idea that solves a really hot, urgent, top of mind problem for your ideal client or the most client leads that will come into your business. And the reason why you would choose one over the other is that if you are using the book to attract ideal, possibly high ticket clients, you need to focus on them as your target reader. If you're trying to use it to bring in lots of leads and see how they fit into your business, then you use something that's closer to the beginning of your personal business's customer transformation map. I go into a lot of that in other videos, so I'm not going to cover that here, but that's the quick and easy version. Number two, the wrong book idea won't just waste your time, it can damage your brand or can make your brand very confusing. So, my first two books are cookbooks. That's not where I ended up going. I mean, I still have a cooking blog, and it's on hold right now because I've got too many uh, other pots on the stove. But yeah, it's like when I first started, I threw like all my ideas into one pot. So like I had an Instagram that talked about food and science fiction and business, and nobody knew like what was karma about. So I teased those out. Now, yes, I still use food metaphors and science fiction in my main business, but that's not the focus, that's the flavor. Whereas I have other blogs over here on the side that food is the focus, science fiction is the focus, not the flavor. So if you mix all that stuff together, it can really muddy your brand. And in some cases, it can actually damage your brand because people are like, why are you writing about that? I participate in a fair number of marketing surveys and studies and stuff. And a very common question that marketing researchers will ask you is, such and such a company is thinking of coming up with such and such a product. Do you feel like it fits their brand? Yay or nay? And sometimes why? Because a lot of times a company will come up with, another line of products that they think fits, but if their ideal clients are like, "What the heck is that?" They decide not to do it. Number 3, just because an idea is interesting doesn't mean it's useful. I have lots of interesting ideas. They won't necessarily take me to my goal, so I put them on the side and I go, "Thank you for popping into my brain. I may deal with you at some point in the future, but not right now." So, your reader doesn't need everything you know. They really don't. They need an idea, a solution that will solve their current problem. That's why at the first point I said, focus on a top of mind problem. And the interesting thing about top of mind problems is often you think, this is my problem. And it turns out, no, you kind of skipped a few steps, and that's why you think this is your problem. So, one of my mentors, people usually come to him because they think they have a lead problem when it really is an offer problem. I have the same thing. It's like I was doing some deep work on what it is that I offer and what I do. And I realized that I always approached what I do as I help you get more leads. And yes, that is an after effect of working with me and getting the right book. But honestly, my superpower is in helping you clarify your idea, select the right one, and connect your offers to your book so that your book becomes part of an overall ecosystem in your business rather than, oh, here's a book and it'll just sit on the shelf and it's not really related to my business at all. That doesn't do you any good. I'm like sort of the person who helps you get it all integrated. Yes, the after effect is you get better clients, you get better gigs, you get better media attention. But that doesn't happen until this other thing happens. And you're probably doing the same thing in your business. You probably have potential clients coming to you and saying, "This is my problem." And then you dig a little deeper and you're like, "No, that's not really your problem." I mean, it is a problem, but it wouldn't be a problem if you got this other thing fixed. So you may want to write a book about this other thing, but that's not going to get them to buy your book and come into your business because that's not where they're at. You need to meet them where they're at, what they're thinking about. Then you lead them into the real solution. Well, if you're enjoying these 3 tips so far, I've got 2 more coming, but if you would like more of this stuff, I highly recommend you join my list. And you can do that by grabbing a copy of the Right Book Roadmap. A link to it is below, and you can get that at carmaspence.com/Right Book Roadmap. And that is an interactive checklist created with a Google Sheet that helps you go through all the little tiny nitty-gritty steps that you need to get from I have an idea and I want to write a book to here it is, getting me gigs, getting me media attention, getting me clients. It lays it all out and you will have a roadmap to get you from where you are to where you want to be. Now on to idea number 4. Don't validate in a vacuum. A lot of stuck authors skip positioning. You need an audience, you need a message, and you need business alignment before you write a single word. A lot of authors, the reason why they get stuck is they just start writing. I've had clients come to me and they've written an entire book. And then when we start digging, it turns out they wrote the wrong book or they didn't bake in some of the things they needed to bake in. And they basically have to start over. So this is why in my program, I mean, I've had when I try to explain my program, a lot of people say, "Well, why can't we just start writing and write? Why does it take so long?" I'm like, "Because you need to get all the groundwork done first before you write a book. Because once you get that groundwork done, the writing is easy. But if you jump to the writing without doing the foundational work, you may write the wrong book. You may spin around in circles and take forever to write the book. It all starts with an idea, validation, plan, vetting, all that good stuff. So, in a nutshell, before you write word 1, who are you writing for? What goal do you want to accomplish in your business and for your reader? And what are they looking for that isn't anywhere else that you can include in your book? And how does this overall book feed into your business? Because when you're using a book to grow your business, someone needs here's the outside steps. Joe Reader comes in and they see your book, they pick up your book, they read your book, and what happens next? That needs to be baked into the book. There needs to be invitations throughout the book that say, for more, do this. For more, do that. And those doing things are getting onto your list, possibly buying a low ticket item, or even having a free call with you to explore a high ticket item. So you have soft, medium, and hard calls to action throughout the book that are flowing naturally. And you don't know how to do that if you don't plan ahead. So there you go. And number 5, there is no such thing as the perfect idea, only the one right next move. Like I said, I have a queue of ideas, and they're all good ideas. And someday they will become a book if I don't keel over or something. But what's the right next book now? And that takes a little introspection, but it also takes what's your goal? What's your goal? It all starts with what's your goal? So waiting for lightning to strike is a myth. I'm not saying lightning won't strike, but you have to help it along. It's like you have to do the things you need to do to attract the lightning. And you create clarity by taking action, not waiting for signs. Again, if you get the right book roadmap, it kind of gives you the actions you can take so that lightning will strike. Well, I hope these 5 tips, topics, insights helped you get a new perspective on your book idea and helped you move a little bit forward. And tomorrow I will be back when I will be talking about 5 tips Snow White can teach you about clarity. Because remember, it all starts with clarity. I will see you tomorrow. This is Carma Spence saying ciao for now.